Start. Assessee is supplier of electricity at notified tariff rate. The sale price included advance against depreciation AAD, which is shown by assessee as sales in its profit and loss account. While computing the book profit, assessee deducted the AAD component from total sale price and took only balance amount into the profit and loss account. According to the authority for advance rulings, reduction of AAD from the sales was reserve, which had to be added back on the basis of clause B of explanation 1 to section 1115 JB of the Income Tax Act 1961. On reading, it is clear that to make an addition under clause B, the two conditions which must be jointly satisfied are that there must be a debit of the amount to the profit and loss account and the amount so debited must be carried to the reserve. Since the amount of AAD is reduction from sale, there is no debit in the profit and loss account. The amount did not enter the stream of income for the purpose of determination of net profit at all. Hence, clause B of explanation 1 was not applicable. There are broadly two types of reserves: those that are routed through profit and loss account. For example, a capital reserve such as share premium account. AAD is not a reserve. It is not appropriation of profit. It is an amount that is under obligation right from the inception to get adjusted in the future, hence cannot be designated as a reserve. It is nothing but an adjustment by reducing the normal depreciation includable in the future years in such a manner that at the end of useful life of the plant, which is normally 30 years, the same would be reduced to nil. At the end of the life of the plant, AAD will be reduced to nil. Keeping in view the facts, the total profit and loss account will be different from the above. In fact, Schedule 12A of the balance sheet for the financial years 2004-5 onwards indicating recapping. AAD, income received in advance. It is a timing difference and represents adjustments in future which is inbuilt in the mechanism notified by the income tax. The respondent, who was employed as a teacher under the government of Haryana, claimed advance increments in terms of Punjab government memo dated 1st September 1960. The Director of Secondary Education, Haryana, rejected the claim on the premise that in terms of Rule 10 of the Punjab Education Service Class 3 School Cadre Rules 195, the pay scales of the teachers were subject to variation from time to time, and since the state of Haryana revised the pay scales of various categories of teachers with effect from 1st December 1967, memo dated 1st September 1960 superseded. He also observed that higher start of pay with advance increments for post-graduation qualification was provided only to masters or mistresses and not to the other categories of teachers.